Radio about the level of the students, excited to be here today on WPSW Radio. We're going to make it do what it do. It's the number one internet station, our radio number one. We're the first to introduce the world to the platform of internet station with social media site. So enjoy what we have for you today. And I'm excited because I'm all about making it do what it do. So excited to be here. This is I would say the founder of the new internet station broadcasting. I'm excited because this is WPSW Radio, the number one internet station. I am Dr. Lawrence D. Smith. We have an awesome show planned for you today, so I want you to get ready, relax, sit back, and just enjoy yourself. This is the Love Cafe, the real love talk show that soothes your love appetite. So we're going to make it do what it do. As soon as we get started, we'll get the information. We're going to let the promo play for a minute, and we're going to make it do what it needs to be done here today on the new internet network radio. My. So let's make this thing happen right now. This is the Love Cafe, the real love talk show that soothes your love appetite. We're on WBSW Radio, the number one internet station. And the number one internet station. Excited because we're setting a new wave. We're putting something into action that really our radio station didn't focus on that. They're broadcasting from a tower, broadcasting from the internet. So we're all over the world, really excited about the opportunity to be before you. The website that's so important that you need to check out is WBSW Radio, the internet station 23.wit.com. You can chat with the host by joining as a guest on Stream. Link for that https StreamYard.com/streamwq42MV2Z. If you want to share your opinion, stories, and examples live with me in the world, you can go to C2 at WBSW Radio, Facebook.com, Big Old Live, and TikTok Live. And that's Dr. L. Dialberto Smith. Then you have a chance to check us out on the second Facebook page, which is Zeta Phi Sigma Greenville. And we're excited about partnering with the Brother Phi Beta Sigma Fraternity Incorporated out of Greenville, Alabama. Then we have StudioRadio.co. That is WBSW Radio, the Internet Station 23. Super Live, WBSW Internet Radio, Tango.com/WBSW-radio-14059. And Twit at Dr. L. Gilberto 2010, Riverside FM. And that's truly excited about being on that. That's Dr. Lorenza Gilberto Smith. Then we also have a second YouTube channel. The first one is the Smith Way Enterprise. The second one is Dr. Lorenza D. Smith. We on LinkedIn. You can check us out again, Dr. Lorenzo Dialberto Smith, because put a lot of L.D. Dialberto, and you see we give a shout out to each and every one. So truly thank you so much for being here and being a part of what we're trying to do. Our on-demand episodes are available for WBSW Radio on Apple Podcasts, iHeartRadio, Instagram, Snitchers, Pandora, Spotify, and Amazon Podcasts operated by PodServe FM. Go to PodServeFM.com and you can look up, type in WBSW Radio on either one of the Apple Pod, iHeart, Instagram, Snitchers, Pandora, Spotify, Amazon. You get our on-demand episode, audio only. WBSW Radio, the number one internet station, have listeners and watchers in 59 countries and on 6 continents. We are asking you to be a part of our giveaway, our raffle. You want you to register. All you have to do is register with your name, along with a means of transaction for the WBSW Radio giveaway. Those means of transaction of Bitcoin, Cash App, PayPal, Venmo, or Zelle to Lorenzo D. Smith 15@gmail.com. You may ask, why do I need to put a means of transaction? We get what we call love offers. We put you in for the raffle. We also, whether you win a prize or not, we're going to make sure we have something for you from $5 to $100. So you're gaining something. Maybe your birthday coming up. Our anniversary in regards to 8 years will be this Saturday. So we're excited about moving forward into our 8th year of service to you. And for some of you, been here for 4 or 5 years, 2 or 3 years. And then I had some been here for 8 years. Thank you for taking time to support what we're doing here. So as we move forward with the registering for the WBSW Radio giveaway, make sure you send your name in, along with the means of transaction, the ones I just shared with you, to LorenzoDSmith15@gmail.com. Sow a seed with WBSW Radio by sending a like. We're going to send a like to you. And we will make sure that we do understand that. So truly, it's a blessing to be able to not give or ask for. We're not asking for anything. Just send a like. Hit the like button. We're excited about doing that. So truly, thank you so much for supporting what we're doing. Thank you for being here and being a part of what we're trying to do here. So truly, thank you so much. Also ask you, if you want to monetize with us, you have that opportunity. Go to Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, Video Live, Super Live, Tango, C2, Riverside FM, YouTube, both of the station, which is Dr. Lorenzo D. Smith, or the Smithway Enterprises. And we want to offer congratulations to the WBSW number one internet station family on this 8th year anniversary, which will be September 27, 2025. So let's get down to what we've come here for. We're going to talk about our show title, which is Understanding Consistency in Relationships. But before we move to that, we're going to talk about exactly what the Love Cafe is. See, the Love Cafe is the real love talk show that soothes your appetite. We're going to address your appetite through the menu. The Love Cafe menu is the appetizer / starter, which is the lust. The entree is the attraction. The dessert is the appetite. And the beverage is the opinion. So what you want to do in a relationship, think about being someone who might be lust, which is the acquaintance here known as the attraction. And then we have the dessert when you move forward from the friendship, which we have an attachment. And then we have the beverage that you receive in the first part of the menu, but you can drink throughout your libation, whatever it is, throughout your meal. Then you have the awakening. So you're now moving forward and understanding the tiers of our Love Cafe and what's on our menu. Lust, attraction, attachment, and awakening. Then we look at the acronym of LOVE, because that's how it said the Love Cafe is LOVE, the love. And several L's that relates to love. There's listening, loyal, love, learning, laughter, longing, likability, lovable, lavish. That goes along with the L that is associated with the Love Cafe. The O is overcoming, observing, open-minded, oneness, open-heartedness, overjoyed, overlooking faults. The V is the value. And we want you to think about value. What values do you bring to the relationship? What do you bring to the Love Cafe, or the love part of your relationship? Vulnerable, To be in love, you must be willing to be vulnerable, willing to put yourself in a position where you open up your heart and your soul so you can really appreciate what God has for you. You have the priority, you have the vision, having vision to see your relationship going in a direction that's have a favorite outcome. Validate each other. Viability. Are you viable? How do you see your mate? How do you see your partner? How do you see your spouse? How do you see your wife? How do you see your husband? Vibrant. Is it exciting? Do they keep it going? Exciting? Vigorous. It's not going to give up. They're going to work. Relationship is successful. We all have communicate so we can hear each other. That's what relationship will actually operate with one of the cornerstones, which is being able to communicate, having a voice, and virtuous. Are you a virtuous person? Are you living a virtuous life? That means, yes, stepping out from norm, doing something that people can recognize. There's a virtuous man, there's a virtuous woman. And those are the things that make up the Love Cafe. And as we also move forward to looking at the Love Cafe, we have to finalize that with the E. The E is effort, understanding, everlasting, excitement, easy to love, easy going, extravagant, elegant, empathetic, enchanting, exquisite, and finally endearing. Those are the E's that go with the Love Cafe. So now we have the complete explanation for why this is the real love talk show that soothes your appetite. Because you see a lot of words, a lot of phases of this, so you can put yourself in that position. Thank you for the hearts being sent up. Thank you so much. We need likes. We're asking for likes. We want to sow a seed through likes on WBHW Radio, the #1 internet station. So hit the like button. I need for you to hit the like button. I need to see a lot of likes today. Thank you so much for supporting. Now, in taking the acronym of love, we want to add it up to two very important things that you have once you decide to soothe your appetite. Decide to enter into love, which is an action empowerment. See, love gives you empowerment. Not to be empowered over somebody, but empowered enough to make decisions with a partner, with a mate, with a spouse. You're empowering each other because it's better with two working than one working. And then the next thing that's so important to the success of your love, where you require to do actions and require to do work so you can soothe that appetite, is patience. Patience is very important. And you have to understand, you are empowered through the Love Cafe to have patience. And we're going to focus on our title in regards to understanding consistency in a relationship. I'm going to go back to one of our co-hosts that joins from time to time. She stops in. She's out in Berkeley, California. She's has a ministry dealing with behind the mask. And the name is, always going to give her a shout out. And that's Minister Denise Stephanie Carolyn. Give her Carolyn. Thank you so much. I really appreciate your support. She's out in Berkeley, California. If you're out there, look her up, Behind the Mask Ministry. And she focuses on one thing she always said on the show. We give all the C's on how relationships should be successful, but we a lot of times forget consistency. If you want to be successful, you even talked about a topic yesterday, commitment. You need to be consistently on what you're doing. So when we talk about what does consistently means in a relationship, we want to take an opportunity to share some things. See, when we're talking about consistency in a relationship, is defined by reliability. See, you got to be reliable. You got to be willing to do the work. You would be willing to, if you say something, you're going to follow up with it. You're going to be a hard worker. You're going to be dedicated. That's a part of commitment. Hard work is a part of commitment. The next thing is dependability. You're gonna be dependable. You say you're gonna be there at 6, you're gonna be there at 6. You say you're gonna be there at 10, you're gonna be there at 10. You say you're gonna call, you will call. You will not have an excuse. You're gonna be dependable. You can be reliable. Then you can be trustworthy. See, the trustworthiness is very important. See, because all the key factors when you're talking about reliability, dependability, and trustworthy, this is a very important to be in a healthy relationship. Even though predictability, there's nothing toxic in knowing you can rely on your partner or your mate through thick and thin. See, consistency is relying. Consistency is dependability. Consistency is trustworthiness. That having the trust to know that person, if they said it, they're going to do it. To have a healthy relationship, you have to walk up the tiers. And you have to go from just lust to moving to the attraction. Making sure you move forward to the attachment. And making sure you put the work in so you move to the next step, which will be the awakening. See, that's what you want consistency to be in a relationship. So if you're striving to have a relationship with a favorable outcome, you must understand what exactly is consistency. Being there for your mate, being there for your spouse through thick and thin. Also, consistency is in a relationship means the reliable and constantly showing. So you got to show up for when you show up. Sometimes you may have to show out, but showing up helps you build that relationship to where you want it to be long lasting and committed. Consistency requires you to be dependable. Bring stability to your relationship. See, by showing up in this way, meaning reliable and dependable and stable, you make yourself emotionally available to your partner. You had heard many times I've been listening to content. The first thing they said, the reason they're no longer with their mate or with their partner, even with their spouse, is because that person didn't show they was available emotionally. See, but if you're consistent, and the consistency shows that you will be available emotionally for your mate, partner, or spouse. Therefore, you will maintain a sense of predictability and trust. So let's remember that we want to be reliable. We want to be dependable. We want to be trustworthy. We want to be predictable. We want to be emotionally available. We want to be stable. These are the signs of consistency in a romantic relationship, where you're willing to give and put that person first. See, that's what it's all about. So when we're talking about signs that best indicate or show consistency in relationship as well as the importance, we want to start at what does consistency look like in a relationship? We have to say depending on your relationship dynamics. So if your dynamics is built on reliability, dependability, trustworthy, predictability, stability, emotional availability, then you have a tendency to have a consistent behavior that you will do that will manifest in different ways. See, consistency means different things depending on your expectations in a relationship. But all good relationships understand that this consistency requires a lot of work, hard work, and dedication. You're committed. So if we're committed, we got to be able to recognize consistency and committed within our relationship. There's a few key things to look out for which showcase stability, dependability of your significant others. All of which are green flags, big green flags for the success of your relationship, which is long lasting. First is keeping your promise. You say you're going to do something, keep your promise. If you can't, please communicate with that person so that your mate, your partner, your spouse won't be sitting around waiting for you to come. One of the things I used to hear in the last situation was some father with their children, where they're not staying in the home with their children, making commitments to come and pick up their children at designated time for spending time with them, and they don't show up. Have children sitting by the door all night waiting for their father. See, that's not a good sign. If you're not consistent with your children, you can't be consistent with a mate, a partner, or a spouse, because you don't understand what consistency includes. First of all, again, keeping promises. Keeping promises. See, in a consistent relationship, you shouldn't be afraid that your partner is going to break their promise. See, if your partner commits to you, they can keep their promise. Whether they swear they'll show up at your party or promise to pick up some items from the store. See, all of these things matter, but sometimes we take for granted, because all of these things matter for the well-being of your relationship. See, not all promises are the same. You have to have flexibility so your relationship can be successful. See, that flexibility is important in a relationship, especially in areas when you know you have to adjust your schedule. That's why I say open communication. Calling and let that person know, I'm not going to be able to make it. Only time change because we were missing an employee and couldn't leave till the manager come. And if you're in leadership role, sometimes that happens. You can't walk away from the. So we have to keep in mind that when you're couples, see, sometimes as a couple, we have rigid thinking around promises. We have these rigid thinking about promise because the person made the promise, and because you get excited about the promise, there are some things happen to cause it not to be successful. You get very angry. But some things would be so simple as someone forgetting your coffee. It has a deeper meaning over your partner. Even that person that is busy wasn't able to do that. This compares to intentionally breaking promise. That can have a major impact on your relationship. The next thing is constant effort. Relationship takes work, hard work, and dedication. It requires you to put the time in. So you understand relationship takes work. And that's not something to shy away from. See, in a serious relationship, your loved one should want to put effort into the relationship. When you're in a relationship and you're the only one putting all the effort in, you're in the wrong relationship. That's a red flag. It's time to run as fast as you can. They must be willing to put the hard work, the dedication, the work in, so the relationship can be successful. See, spending quality time shouldn't be a chore. or an inconvenience. But something that they make conscious effort to do quality time. It takes planning. See, if you plan a midweek date night, do your least favorite household task. It all adds up to ensure the honeymoon phase never ends. Plan a midnight date night, or midweek date night to do your least favorite household task. This adds up to ensuring that lust and that attraction and the honeymoon stage never end. Actions speak louder than words. If I speak it, I must put some action behind it. If you're around a lot of people that run their mouth and won't do anything. So we're focusing on actions speak louder than words. Consistent people knows this phrase. It's important in long-term relationships. Ever been actions the success of that relationship will be your action because it's going to speak louder than you running your mouth. Always keep in mind it's because they talk good don't mean they're going to do any work. When they show themselves, believe what you see. And then run as fast as you can. When we say actions speak louder than words, they may be accustomed to telling people things and never follow through with it. You want a successful relationship. You need to make sure you hold people accountable. You should be holding people accountable. Your partner should go as a best friend. Provide an emotional support when you need it.
Highway 106 West, Georgia and Alabama. Come and visit and talk to the boys. That is Marvin Smith and Katrina Wolfer Smith. You want to give them a call? You can at 334-539-0950. If you want to go to Facebook and check them out, you go to Marvin Smith and also Katrina Wolfer Smith. Oh, it's a ball going on down at Mary's Restaurant.
located at 261 State Highway 106 West. Again, 261 State Highway 106 West, Georgiana, Alabama. You can give them a call at 334-549-0950, or you have an opportunity to go to Facebook, type in Mark Smith, separately, his page will populate, or Katrina Roper Smith, her page will populate. They have the menu for the day. I know for sure they have sort of like some special setup on Friday, besides fish on Friday. They have a setup for teams that are coming through in Butler County. You can stop in at Georgiana Mary Ruth Restaurant and their featured team. And I think they're open a little later to about 11 o'clock on Friday night, so they can accommodate the schools, Georgiana, Greenville, Andalusia, or whoever's coming that way from one of the areas over there. So check them out. Call Brother Marvin and Shora, Katrina Robert Smith, and they can accommodate what you're requesting. Our next thing is predictable. Remember, predictability was a part of the definition or an explanation or meaning of consistency. See, second guessing your relationship is exhausting, an emotionally draining process. See, the concept of being predictable can often be used negatively to describe disappointing and repetitive behavior in a relationship. They disappoint me, or they're repeating something over and over again. However, being predictable can be a very stabilizing force in a relationship. See, if you feel like you can trace your partner positive, it builds confidence and trust in your relationship. In this case, we talk about predictable nature boosts your own self-esteem by emphasizing your partner's reliability. Just remember, when we talk about consistency with me, we talked about reliability, we talked about stability, we talked about predictability. That all come into a successful relationship. The next thing is no mixed signals. See, toxic relationships are full of constant twists and turns. Whereas absent of stability, damage the overall wellness of your relationship. See, these mixed signals showcase a lack of respect for your partner, with significant repercussions on their mental health and well-being. See how important it is if you just be honest. You don't need to have people twisting and turning because you sending out mixed signals. It affects their physical, it affects their emotional, their mental, their spiritual, their financial, their social, and psychological well-being. See, this is partly why consistency is so important. There's no any red flag to appear. See, sometimes people show mixed signals because they are operating from a place of insecurity and are not clear on what they want. See, if you don't understand what you need and see how it relates to what you desire, it creates insecurity. See, that's not predictable. You're all over the place. Mixing. See, this can hurt when you have mixing. Because it stops progressing forward. It is healthy to change your mind as you learn new things. And it's also healthy to commit to trying something fully so your relationship can evolve. But it's a problem if you're sitting mixed signals. Ask yourself, evaluate yourself in the relationship I have with my family, with my friends, romantic, on my job. Am I sitting mixed signals? Because it will affect the success of that relationship on each of those areas. Those stakeholders need to know if you're selling. You have to work on making sure you get yourself together. Let's give a shout out to our next sponsor on WDSW Radio, the #1 internet station, celebrating our 8th anniversary, which will be on Saturday. This is L&T Stallworth Lawn Service, LLC.
If you need your lawn management, your experts, L&T Stallworth Lawn Service, LLC, were operated by Tony Stallworth. They're celebrating the manicure expert in South Central Alabama. Contact Tony. The number is 334-300-7401 on Facebook. And type in Anthony Stallworth. Check him out. Check out the line service. He's gonna make it do what it do.
L&T Stallworth Lawn Service, LLC. Medicare experts of South Central Alabama. The number again is 300-7401-334. As well as Anthony Stallworth on Facebook, DM, share some names with him, so you can make sure you connect with them. The importance of consistency in a romantic relationship cannot be underplayed. As having a consistent partner is key to sustaining a healthy, fulfilling relationship. By consistently demonstrate your commitment to your partner or mate, it creates a sense of security. It feels safe with you. It fosters a strong foundation for a healthy relationship. Building the relationship on trust make it easier to forge a long-term relationship. Building it on trust. Being reliable. Being stable. It allows you to be successful. We know in a long-term relationship there are going to be a few bumps along the way to trip you up. See, if you're inconsistent with your words and action in a relationship, it can make the relationship feel more volatile and unpredictable. The ideal is that we're working for predictability, stability, reliability. See, the lack of consistency can lead to doubt, disrupting the pattern of emotional intimacy, emotional connection, emotional availability. It starts your professional, it starts your personal growth, especially in a relationship. There's no growing when you're inconsistent. Make sure you commit to putting actions behind those words. Make sure you're willing to be reliable. If you can't do it, communicate to your partner, mate, or spouse. I cannot do it. Being honest is very important. Don't tell someone you can do it when you know you can't do it. One of the biggest challenges with all of us just in life, in this day and time, is not having the strength, the will to say no. We'll tell them maybe. It's just simply saying no. Because there's always a backlash when you say no. But when you're consistent about what you're doing, you communicate when things don't work out. You don't have to worry about a backlash. You don't have to deal with angry people. But when people show themselves, believe what you see. Run as fast as you can from that situation. That's why it's important that you see examples of consistency in a romantic relationship. A lot of us can function in our family relationship. A lot of us can function with friends or special people in our life. But we struggle in romantic relationship. See, being in a romantic relationship, you have the steps and tears, I'll say, you have to go through. You go through the lust. You go through the attraction. Then you go through the attachment. You go through each step. In other words, the associate, the tier of being acquainted, friendship, romantic partnership, lifelong partnership. What do you want? But let's look at some of these examples of consistency in a romantic relationship. Some examples start with maintaining regular communication, such as calling or texting every day, regardless of a busy schedule. Consistency also includes following through with promises and commitment. Like always showing up for a planned date or consistently offering support during challenging times. This regularity, this consistency shows that you're reliable. So regularity and reliability in actions and behavior foster trust, dependability, stability. Allow the relationship to be strong. Those examples of consistency in a relationship. This is an awesome show we have to look at. We have shared several strong points. We got to go more and we give it to wrap up. But our next month, we're going to give a shout out to Magic Design and More.
Insurance, whatever number of items you want, contact Magic Design and More, where their slogan is, there's a touch of magic in everything we do. The owner and operator, Gina Thomas, and the number to contact Gina is 205-257-1584, or email her at Regina, Regina, Thomas, Thomas, 78 at gmail.com. Check her out, check the business out, and make it do what it do.
Magic Design and More with Gina Thomas. You can give her a call at 205 257 1584. Give her a call, see how she can provide some screen print for you, whether it's on jackets, shirts, t-shirts, or novelty items. Get with her. If you want to email, you can, Regina Thomas78@gmail.com. And it's REGINIAThomas78@gmail.com. Check out. As we move forward, we're going to focus on the ways to be consistent in a relationship. And I just want you to think about it. Sometimes you may have to go and write down things that indicate, things that show that you're reliable, things that show you're predictable. Those are things that's going to move toward you being successful. And once you recognize, you can build on them, that gives you maturity to be successful. Be mature so you be emotionally connected to that relationship. Here are some ways that you can consider how you can be consistent in a relationship. So you need to approach it in a comparable way. How you can establish trust and confidence with another person since they are closely connected to you. Consistency in a relationship leads to trust, a feeling of being able to depend on your mate, feeling secure in the relationship. Consistency, trust, dependable, secure, allows you to understand a healthy relationship. You not only need to ensure you're being consistent about determining how to make him or her more consistent if you're experiencing a problem with your mate or partner. There's a few tips to help you be consistent. Communication will be number one. It's foundation. First and foremost, in a relationship, it's important to have conversation, particularly if there's a new consideration. Maintaining consistent communication in a relationship, it can take time and patience, especially if it's not something either you have been practicing. You must practice communication. Initially, you need to determine what you expect from a relationship and what you're willing to give so neither you are disappointed. Intentions. Take time to talk about your intent. Why you're here. Number two is connection. As I said earlier about Minister Stephanie, she always brought that consistency, saying if you're going to keep regular in-person contact, she'll be your primary component. And it is the primary component of being consistent in a relationship. Regular in-person contact. In God in these times and out of time, we want to text. Some people say regular contact. But in-person in these virtual time can be done, yes, face-to-face, or done virtually face-to-face. Texting is fine, but you have to actually see, because you can feel that what's in that person and what's coming out of that person by actually being around them and seeing them how they respond. But when you text them, We lost opportunities to be connected with the person that God has for you because you're not willing to communicate with them. Communicate with them in person as your primary component. If you do that, the moments will ultimately lead to connection. See, it's challenging to connect when you don't make time for each other. Or if the time you spend together is fragile and it's affected by your device, your phone. It becomes distracting. You can't connect when that person is not there fully. The next thing, don't say it if you don't mean it. If you say something, make sure it's something you genuinely feel. It is not nice to be led to believe something that isn't authentic. This leads to distrust. Then, when you actually do develop a legitimate feeling, the person won't know how to take the gesture before, because consistency speaks to your being fake. Setting up and not genuine for authentic. Don't say something if you don't mean it. Better to keep your mouth closed. And perhaps you inadvertently claim to like a specific dish of food that you may prepare. Just an example for you that you later on admit was not your favorite. So it's better to make the admission immediately and up front. Let me know that I don't really like onions on in my salad. I don't like onions on my food. Let them know. Let them know it's beneficial to admit immediately and up front what you're not liking. So they won't fix the meal. They won't spend that time fixing the meal and then come back and say they don't like it. Response to need. See, when you make yourself readily available as a source of support, consistently, your mate partner views you as a reliable and dependable, someone they can count on when they're in need. See, you can be someone who encourages dreams and motivate them to move forward in life. Perhaps cheering them for a job promotion, or walking them out of their comfort zone to try a new interest. Consistency also means supporting loss or hardship as a shoulder to lean on. You're supporting, saying that I understand your loss. I'm here for you. My shoulder's good to me. I can carry my weight and yours too. That means a lot. When you say it, follow up and follow through. If you commit with your mate, make sure you follow through with those engagements. Don't renege at the last moment. See, a partner will gradually begin to doubt your word over time. And the more you promise things, and neglect to do them, they don't trust you, they don't believe in you. You're not capable of following through. Consistency in a relationship speaks to the fact that you are someone who take accountability, which is running lacking a lot of time in our relationship. No one want to be accountable. He just say he's emotionally unavailable or she's emotionally unavailable when you was already emotionally unstable, immature. So make sure you take accountability serious and have a partner who recognize they can count on you. Honesty, forthright, a consistent partner is honest to a fault. The individual has nothing to hide, choosing to disclose whatever information their mate want to know. The desire is to move forward in the relationship with no secrets, half truths. Preferred makes solid connection. See, the partner of a honest, consistent mate can be vulnerable and able to communicate, allowing the relationship to evolve from trust and respect. Avoid patterns you can't maintain. See, when you consider a regularly, if not, avoid the behavior because you appear consistent. Be surely to disappoint your partner or your mate. See, anytime someone makes a new, unexpected gesture, we adopt it as a routine. Anytime they make that gesture, be consistent. When you know your mate is enjoying your behavior and how the relationship is progressing, keep it up. Remain consistent and try not to slack off. See, too often we can get very lazy. When things start going well, we begin to slack up, back up. Start calling full time every morning, good morning, checking on. But all of a sudden you take a day off, or 2 days off, or 3 days off. See, that's when consistency blurs with predictability, comfortability, and familiarity. People do become predictable. Sometimes you get them. See, consistency in a relationship is vital to its success. So be consistent. Practice empathy and understanding. Consistency is not just about maintaining a routine or keeping promises. It's also about consistently showing empathy and understanding toward your partner. Maintain personal growth and consistency. It's important to be consistent in your behavior toward your partner. It's equally important to be consistent in your own personal growth and self-improvement. If you decide to not be consistent, you're going to lack inspiring or inspiration. You're going to lack reassurance, so the relationship will begin to change. It becomes inconsistent. And we need to know some things that causes inconsistency in a relationship, especially a romantic relationship. Inconsistency in a relationship usually comes down to a mix of emotion, psychological, and situation factors. We repeat that these three things you need to remember about inconsistency in a romantic relationship. It's a mixture of emotional, psychological, and social factors. Think about psychological, emotion, your well-being. Situations, how you're going to respond to the emotional, psychological well-being. See, it's less about one single call, more about pattern that create unpredictability. And here are some common causes of inconsistency. Fear. 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 Fear of commitment. Fear of belonging. Fear of love. Fear of commitment. See, some people pull close, then push away, because they are unsure if they want to fully invest. That's why you have to have a conversation about their intent. Emotional unavailability. Your past trauma, unresolved baggage, and avoidance of vulnerability can make someone hot and cold. Poor communication. When feeling, needs, and boundaries aren't expressed clearly, when feelings, needs, and boundaries aren't expressed clearly, it leads to mixed signals and confusion. Trust issues. If trust is fragile, even in small lapse or delayed time, like delayed texts, can feel like rejection. It creates a cycle of inconsistency. Attachment style. Anxious and avoidance. Attachment patterns often causes one partner to crave closeness when the other partner withdraws. External stressors, work, family, financial pressure can spill into your relationship, causing unpredictable behavior. Negative interaction patterns. Some couples fall into repetitive cycle of fighting and making up, which create instability. In short, to wrap it up, inconsistency often deep issues, deeper issues, root cause, whether it's fear, the lack of clarity, or unresolved wounds. Inconsistency occurs most often in the honeymoon stage. 0, some people said 3, some people said 5 years. The honeymoon stage, because we talk about romantic relationship. See, a healthy relationship, a long-lasting relationship, thrives on stable building. So spotting these patterns early can save a lot of heartache. When you recognize, when you're intentional, you can see what's going on. And move to the final thought. Just remember, developing consistency in a relationship takes time and patience to establish a rhythm together. Some couples start with a degree of consistency since they're in honeymoon constantly. But when you start with a strong come on base, more on infatuation, lust, the absolute consistency does not come until some reality begins to say consistency is not truly something someone can teach you. It's a rhythm you and your partner develop together. It is something a counselor can guide you toward. If you and your partner are having difficulty finding ways to point on your own, you might need a counselor, a therapist, especially if you genuinely want to work on that together, being consistent. And the bottom line here is trust an expert to help you see what you might otherwise not be able to. We're talking about consistency, understanding it in a relationship. I hope something we share with you will put you in the right frame of mind, build your relationship to be successful. I want to let each and every one know that I love each and every one of you all from my heart. And as we get ready to close out, consistency includes what we call hard work and dedication. So we're going to play some hard work and dedication. Let you know, tomorrow we have our sports talk show. It's possibly we also going to do one on Saturday, so you can check us out. We'll make sure we'll be here. Saturday is our 8th-year anniversary. We've been here doing this 8 years. God blessed us with this through his vision. He placed into me to get out and do something, make a difference, provide everybody an opportunity to be interactive. And now we're in 59 countries. I just want to say each and every one of you know we could not do it without you. This is WKRadio, #1 internet station. I want to say as the CEO, owner, lead host, I'm not losing this. I want to say, I love you and everything you can do about it. So take care of yourself. See you tomorrow.
Dedication, you know, you stronger than you know. Believe in yourself. You know, the other side is well worth it. I'm telling you. It's cool. I hope you can accomplish